Brian, with your 20 plus years of experience, why do you think it's important for developers to comment their code?
Well, Chen, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked. You know, commenting code isn't about explaining code to other people who might read your code. Because, well, code is self-documenting. So, of course it's obvious what the code does, because when you look at it, it obviously does what it does. The machine makes no inference on what you intended to do, it simply does exactly what the code is that you wrote. So the point of documentation is really about the intent of what the developer wanted to do in the code.
Like what he was trying to accomplish with the code?
Exactly what the goal was. For example, there may have been a business requirement that said, hey, do this completely stupid thing, but yet that business requirement was somehow valid for that customer. And so the next coder that comes along might see that and say, hey, I look at that code and that is, well, completely stupid. But I'll just remove it because, of course, I want to remove stupid code, but yet that was a business requirement. And so they just remove it, and it causes endless hours of pain and frustration for anyone who actually, I don't know, has to talk to the client or interface them or actually do business with them. The other thing that might happen is, coder comes along and says, this code looks inefficient. I bet I could rewrite these 6 lines of codes in, well, 1 line. And I see what that code does, and I think I could rewrite it in 1 line. And they try to do that, but they have no idea what the intent of the code was. And so they optimize it in a way that, well, doesn't actually meet the intent of the actual original code at all. But it optimizes it for performance. I've seen that happen over and over again, where the other coder that comes along has no idea what the intent of the code was, and they quote-unquote fix it so that it does something that was completely wrong in the future.
Wow, that seems like the small effort of commenting code to explain intent and maybe identify business rules and expectations that that code may be accomplishing would save, I don't know, hours and hours of future problem solving and, rework.
Well, I mean, if you work at home in your mom's basement and write code for fun and it's only you that touches it, it's probably not important at all. But I don't know, if you're a professional who gets paid to do your job well and works in a team environment, it's probably worth the time.
Wow.
So that someone doesn't come along and mess up your stuff.
Wow, because we don't want anyone to mess up our stuff.
True. Don't mess up our stuff.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to answer this question for me because, well, I'm not a developer, but I sometimes like to learn what a good developer should do so I can identify them in the future.
I'm glad I could help. Can I get back to reading my book now?
Yeah, go ahead. Thanks.
Thanks.